Well, Marvel fans, the Morbius movie has been delayed for the 17th million time. And yeah, that's kind of a bummer, but maybe it's actually good news if they sneak a little bit more Andrew Garfield Spider-Man in there. Let's break down the possibilities. What's up, everybody? It's Josh coming at you from Nerd Adventures Tower. Do me a favor, smash a like on this video if you want to see Andrew Garfield Spider-Man in the Morbius film. And yes, guys, the Morbius movie was officially delayed yesterday by Sony 3 whole months to April 1st. Now, this is a really interesting article here on comicbook.com, which brings up a really interesting aspect of this whole delay, which is at the same time hilarious and maybe insightful to what's actually going on with this movie. So here we go. Now they say here, it's been so long since Morbius was originally scheduled to premiere in theaters that Spider-Man No Way Home started filming after the release of the first trailer. To the dismay of many disappointed fans, Sony Pictures again delayed the Marvel film starring Jared Leto. Morbius was set to delay later this month, January 28th, but now finds itself moved all the way to April Fool's Day on April 1st. This comes at a time when Spider-Man No Way Home is setting new records at the box office, setting up another iconic connection between these two films. Comicbook.com's own Adam Barnhart shared on his timeline exactly when the first teaser trailer was released and the movie's new theatrical date, along with No Way Home started filming and when it officially debuted. So check this out. The first teaser trailer, January 13th, 2020. By the way, let me know in the chat, were you here when the Morbius trailer first came out? I remember thinking it was actually kind of cool. Our breakdown of it did pretty well. We did a couple streams about it. Were you here? Let me know in the comment section. And then you have that January 13th, 2020. Then the whole world falls apart like a month later. Spider-Man No Way Home begins filming September to October of 2020. It, of course, released December 17th, 2021. Morbius is now going to release in April 1st of 2022. Now, yeah, that's pretty wild. It's a pretty hilarious thing to happen and to bring up, but it also might be telling as to what's going on between Sony and Marvel. So if you will recall, within the first teaser trailer for Morbius, you see Michael Keaton's Vulture, which was crazy and a lot of people talked about it. He's wearing the same outfit that he did at the end of the Spider-Man Homecoming film. And you also get a shot where Morbius is escaping the prison and there's a Spider-Man on the wall, seemingly with Andrew Garfield's design that says murderer over it. And you gotta take yourself back to 2019 when the relationship between Marvel and Sony was on the rocks. It looked like Sony Pictures was gonna take Tom Holland and the Spider-Man character back. No more Marvel, no more MCU stuff. And a lot of folks thought that the Morbius movie, which was gonna be the first thing that came out even before Venom 2, right? That was gonna be the thing. They thought that that Spider-Man in that teaser trailer was a placeholder for Sony just putting Tom Holland into that universe. And at the time, that's what the evidence pointed to. It looked like Sony was building up a world of villains to just bring Tom Holland over into, and that they were going to try to just convince fans that it was the same universe that Iron Man and Vulture and all these other characters were in. It seemed like they were definitely trying to just make it all one continuity. And even though Feige wouldn't agree and Marvel wouldn't agree, to your average fan, they would think it's the same universe that Tony Stark existed in, that Doctor Strange existed in, etc., etc. But obviously, that arrangement was repaired. Sony and Marvel came back together after Tom Holland calls all of these studio heads when he's all drunk, talking about his future. They get back to the negotiating table and they make it happen. They then go on to make one of the most ambitious and exciting movies of all time in Spider-Man No Way Home, which brings in a lot of Sony's older movies with the Tobey and Andrew franchises and mixes them up in the MCU with Tom Holland's Spider-Man. Venom is a part of that too. So there was a big plan and arrangement created by Marvel Studios and Sony. And we know that the Morbius movie did go through some changes. I mean, Michael Keaton himself has been doing reshoots on Morbius over the past couple of weeks. So they were already changing things. And I think it's totally fair to say that a movie that was teaser trailer ready, likely from an era when Sony was just going to take Tom Holland back, has likely changed quite a bit to the now current relationship between Marvel and Sony, where they have a plan, they have it figured out, and they have a hit friggin' movie on their hands. And oh man, is Spider-Man No Way Home a big hit. It is cracked into the 10th all-time highest grossing films ever in a pandy and is crushing all sorts of record, losing very little ground. And one of the crazy things to sort of come out of the success of No Way Home has been a lot of fan admiration for Andrew Garfield, who slayed it in that movie. There were hashtags trending about making Amazing Spider-Man 3 happening. Fans are very keen to see more Andrew Garfield. And according to a lot of the scoopers and insiders out there that had very good sources on Spider-Man No Way Home, both Sony and Andrew are figuring that out. That's happening in real time behind the scenes right now. Andrew is said to be offered multiple projects. Toby might come back and do some stuff as well, but apparently there's a lot more on the table for Andrew Garfield. That's out there being reported by very reliable people. And so when you look at this delay by Sony, they are saying that it's because of the Decepticon variants coming after everybody. But that's kind of ironic because we are living in that environment right now and the box office is crushing it. This movie, Spider-Man No Way Home, is dominating it. And so a lot of folks are starting to believe there could be something else going on. Basically, it's not that far-fetched to think they are delaying this film to add in a bunch more multiverse stuff and especially a lot of Andrew Garfield Spider-Man stuff. I mean, look at the model presented before us for Doctor Strange in the Multiverse of Madness, okay? They had this movie, they worked it, and they had a really crazy ambitious story, and they tested it, and they needed more oomph. They had more stuff they wanted to add to the movie, and they wanted to tighten it up. They delayed that movie 3 more months as well, and now the rumors coming out of the reshoots and the cameos being added and the craziness are absolutely absurd. They're going to make Multiverse of Madness eclipse Spider-Man No Way Home with all of its hype and craziness. Why wouldn't Sony, who now has a pretty good working relationship with one Kevin Feige, take note of that fact, realize what they have with Andrew, and rework the Morbius movie yet again to add in more Andrew Garfield or Spider-Verse elements? And a couple of points on this, because it's just so fun, right? Like normally with a studio, you might be concerned like, hey, they had this one vision, now they're just changing it because of all the multiversal stuff. But I will say that I don't think a lot of fans were so hell-bent on seeing a solo Morbius movie that they're going to be upset at the addition of Spider-Verse, Multiverse, Andrew Garfield, Spider-Man type stuff. Quite the opposite, in fact. I think putting Andrew in this movie could add $300 to $500 million to the total box office gross for the Morbius movie. I mean, No Way Home is not just a hit. It is a generational hit. It is a movie people are going to be talking about for a long, long time. And to play off of the hype of that thing and really rework your movie to have more Andrew Garfield Spider-Verse stuff, I think would be brilliant. You're talking about taking a movie that probably would have, ended up close to where Venom 2 was at, doing $500 to $600 million and literally almost doubling that revenue if you add in some multiversal Andrew Garfield Spider-Man stuff. That might sound crazy to you, but I don't think so, man. Look at what is happening in the box office right now. That whole creation of hype, that whole Spider-Verse draw, the idea of this connective tissue. It's obviously what worked. It's what created No Way Home to be Sony's most successful movie of all time. And again, when you look at what Doctor Strange is doing and adding all of their cameos and doing all that craziness, I don't think it's too wild to think that Morbius is doing the same. And in fact, if this starts to happen, I wouldn't be surprised if some of the leakers and insiders start talking about it really soon. We'll follow up on this if we hear anything, but the official report is that Morbius has been delayed. It's now coming out April 1st, and the official reason is just because of the health climate out there in the world. But there's also major speculation and a lot of reasons to buy into the idea of them adding more Andrew Garfield Spider-Man or Spider-Verse elements. I want to know what you think about this situation. Let me know in the comment section below. Like this video if you liked it. Subscribe to this channel to see more of our content pop up in your recommended feed. Check me out on TikTok. Check out the podcast on Spotify. And don't you dare miss those live streams, man. The live streams are where it goes down. As I always say, I hope you're having an awesome and a nerdy day. And I'll see you in the next video.